Oh, the others got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, championship stacking. Lando's Wi-Fi, it's still lagging. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, like a movie trailer, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet in a world where Max wins everything, and Lando's still waiting. One man flies above the rest, while the other keeps hoping for safety cars. Max is flying, Lando's sighing. One's got engines, the other's still frying. Jet set, Verstappen titles his fashion. Lando's still stuck in the friend zone with passion. Oh, maybe one day Lando will rise if Max lets him, but that's a surprise. Until then, he'll just sit and regret watching Verstappen from his private jet. That is jet. Oh, Max flies high in his private jet, drinking Red Bull, no regrets. Lando's on the ground, stuck in delay, praying for rain, but it's a sunny day. Oh, one's got titles, gold in his hands. The other's got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, championship stacking. Lando's Wi-Fi, it's still lagging. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, like a movie trailer, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet in a world where Max wins everything, and Lando's still waiting. One man flies above the rest, while the other keeps hoping for safety cars. Max is flying, Lando's sighing. One's got engines, the other's still frying. Jet set, Verstappen titles his fashion. Lando's still stuck in the friend zone with passion. Oh, maybe one day Lando will rise if Max lets him, but that's a surprise. Until then, he'll just sit and regret watching Verstappen from his private jet. That is get Lando not yet. Oh, Max flies high in his private jet, drinking Red Bull, no regrets. Lando's on the ground, stuck in the LA, praying for rain, but it's a sunny day. Oh, one's got titles, gold in his hands. The other's got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, championship stacking. Lando's Wi-Fi, it's still lagging. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, like a movie trail. While Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet in a world where Max wins everything, and Lando's still waiting. One man flies above the rest, while the other keeps hoping for safety cars. Max is flying, Lando's sighing. One's got engines, the other's still frying. Jet set, Verstappen titles his fashion. Lando's still stuck in the friend zone with passion. Oh, maybe one day Lando will rise if Max lets him, but that's a surprise. Until then, he'll just sit and regret watching Verstappen from his private jet. That is get Lando not yet. Oh, Max flies high in his private jet, drinking Red Bull, no regrets. Lando's on the ground, stuck in the LA, praying for rain, but it's a sunny day. Oh, one's got titles, gold in his hands. The other's got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, championship stacking. Lando's Wi-Fi, it's still lagging. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, like a movie trail. While Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet in a world where Max wins everything, and Lando's still waiting. One man flies above the rest, while the other keeps hoping for safety cars. Max is flying, Lando's sighing. One's got engines, the other's still frying. Jet set, Verstappen titles his fashion. Lando's still stuck in the friend zone with passion. Oh, maybe one day Lando will rise if Max lets watching Verstappen from his private jet. Oh, Max flies high in his private jet, drinking Red Bull, no regrets. Lando's on the ground, stuck in delay, praying for rain, but it's a sunny day. Oh, one's got titles, gold in his hands, the other's got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, championship stacking. Lando's Wi-Fi, it's still lagging. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, like a movie trailer. While Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet in a world where Max wins everything, and Lando's still waiting. One man flies above the rest, while the other keeps hoping for safety cars. Max is flying, Lando's sighing. One's got engines, the other's still frying. Jet set, Verstappen, titles his fashion. Lando's still stuck in the friend zone with passion. Oh, maybe one day Lando will rise if Max lets him, but that's a surprise. Until then, he'll just sit and regret watching Verstappen from his private jet. Oh, Max flies high in his private jet, drinking Red Bull, no regrets. Lando's on the ground, stuck in delay, praying for rain, but it's a sunny day. Oh, one's got titles, gold in his hands, the other's got memes and McLaren fans. Max is cruising, autopilot set, while Lando's still bored in the internet. Max is flying, Lando's crying. One's got trophies, the other's still trying. Jet set, Verstappen, champagne's popping. Lando's pit stop, car's still stopping. Max got a jet that don't touch the ground. Lando's got a podium curse so profound. When he gets close, Max just laughs like an evil Dutchman doing victory laps. Oh, Daniel's back just to steal the show, while Lando's stuck yelling, "Let me go." Oscar's quiet, just sipping his tea, while Max on Twitch roasting Crofty.
Everybody, welcome to the Formula Fun Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, motorsport maniacs and confused viewers who thought they were here for a kangaroo sanctuary head stream. Welcome to the Formula Fun Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Waterfalls. The man, the myth, the guy who once tried to drift a shopping cart in a grocery store parking lot. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. But today we're in the land of fast cars, faster lap times, and accents that make everything sound 40 to 50% cooler. Melbourne, Australia. Well, not really there, but we're virtually there because it's cheaper than actually being there. We don't have a budget and we work with what we're weird. I don't even have a wallet. I'm not real. Home of the first F1 season, legendary fans, and enough unpredictable weather to make meteorologists quit their jobs. Melbourne, here we are. We're already in a little bit of a pickle. We were supposed to start the race a little early, but already in a formation lap, one of the many rookies this season, Isaac Hadjar, spun out, probably checking his blinkers. I've never seen a wreck happen so slow in my life, and that's including the time I borrowed my mom's Buick. Now, if you're new to Formula Fun, here's the deal. This is your typical buttoned-up broadcast. No. We're doing things differently here. We break down the race. We crack jokes. We overanalyze driver radio messages like they're ancient scrolls. We make sure even your friend who just started watching F1 feels like a real paddock insider. Well, we do our best because I'm figuring it out myself. How was your off-season of F1 fandom? Mine was great. I filled the time mostly reading about F1, and boy, am I glad I did, because I still don't understand it at all. Thanks, FIA, for making it harder than ever to understand cars driving around in a circle trying to beat each other. Appreciate it. Here we are. And I'd say it was another beautiful day for racing, but I'd be lying, because it's like monsoon season in Melbourne. It is just nonstop rain. The F3 race went through, and the F2 race that followed it today got completely canceled from all the water. That's right. Not one car did anything. A completely canceled race. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and probably the second race I've ever covered. So here we are, and I'm excited. Right now, I'm looking into the stands, and I see a bunch of people who had nothing better to do than spend way too much money to sit in ponchos. And that's annoying. That's a lot of smelly ponchos sitting watching this race. Just a lot of condensation in places you don't want to think about. Smelly soup. That's what you smell like, smelly soup when you're doing this. Well, how's it looking out there? Rain is pouring down in Australia, the first race of a long season. And then there's a bunch of drivers racing for the first time in F1, the age of children, who have definitely never raced in the rain. And that's, again, why we had our very first incident on a formulation lap. I do feel bad for Isaac. I do feel bad for Isaac because, well, it was the formation lap. It's kind of just the slow lap around the track, and he couldn't handle the pressure, and he was dejected as he walked off. He was definitely doing the thing where you put your finger between your nose, and you're trying to keep your tears in. But he was definitely letting it happen. It didn't help that there were 7 cameras in his face when that happened. That's got to hurt a little bit, and you know your fellow drivers are going to roast you for it afterwards. Poor guy. Right now, the track conditions are still wet, and right now, nothing's happening because there is a delay for this race to start, trying to make sure that everything is safe, and all the drivers are now back in the pits there. The drivers are on the grid right now, and they're waiting to start the race patiently. The rain looks like it is not falling anymore, but it is still very cloudy, and we don't know if we're going to see more racing. I'd love to tell you more about tire strategies, but all I can tell you is that the tires that go in the rain are on the cars now, and that's all that matters. Yes, we're going to see some rookie mistakes in this race. We're going to see a lot of mistakes in this race, and it's not just going to be from the rookies. I got to tell you, there are a lot of them. There's like 6 rookies this year. We'll get to more of that in a little bit, but that's a lot of inexperience. This is a wet race. That means it's anybody's game. I mean, it's probably Max Verstappen's game, but it can be anybody's game. Because the cars become very just tools of the driver. The driver's the one who becomes great in a rain race. That's all I can tell you. Because the cars are not the most important. You're not even allowed in a rain race to use DRS. It's that little fan in the back of your car that it opens up and allows you to get a little bit more speed. But they're not allowed to use that in this race because it's dangerous. And overtaking is crazy. So it's a great equalizer. Everyone kind of has the same vehicle, but it is about driver experience. And boy, do we have a lot of inexperience out there on top of it being the first race of the season. There's jitters, and there's going to be a lot of slips. It's going to be something else. And right now they're all lined up, -1, minus Isaac Hadjar, who right now is probably in bed with a blanket listening to Celine Dion. Because that's what I'd be doing. That's what I do to unwind in case I have something like that happen to me. And I'm embarrassed. Well, I'm going to have some predictions for this race. I'm going to tell you who my predictions are and all of my experience. I got a top 5 that's going to knock your socks up. This is a real tough one. No one's going to pick this guy to win. He won, Max Verstappen. Of course he's going to win. This guy's a shark. He's going to eat everybody alive. Then we have Charles Leclerc. I see him in second. Carlos Sainz in third. That's right. He is a special guy for Williams. And I'm telling you right now, he's got experience and he's got a great car. I watched all of 3 seconds of practice, and that means I know everything. And P4, I'm going to see George Russell. And then finally P5, Fernando Alonso. I got nothing to back the last call up other than he's a two-time world champion. And he's got all the experience you need. And that's what you're going to need in this race. Experience to keep your car from sliding away. That's right. It's slippery out there. Be careful, folks. Right now, the formation lap is beginning again. They're just getting out there and trying to get their grip and figure out these turns and how not to slide their car into the wall or to a family of ducks, which I've seen many times in many different camera angles in this race. But it looks like the rain is clearing up, but that track is definitely still wet. A lot of fantail of all sorts of spray. Here we are looking at Lewis Hamilton. A little bit about Lewis Hamilton. In case you were born yesterday under a rock, on a different planet, in a different universe, where news never happens, and it's impossible to get any sort of updates on anything ever, because you also happen to be space Amish. Lewis Hamilton has left Mercedes, and is set to make his Ferrari debut here in just a second. Toto Wolff is set to have a hysterical meltdown, a massive panic attack while crying into a pillow. Where did you go, Lewis? Well, where did you go? I don't know what I'm doing without you. I cannot think clearly. I have to replace you with an infant, a baby child. Without a real driver's license, I don't know what I was thinking. Somebody hug me. I think that's what that would sound like. What do you think? I thought that was a pretty good impression. Anybody? Anybody here? Well, we'll get you. And here they're back from their warm. It looks like that track is gonna warm up, and it's gonna be a battle of tires out there. A battle of tires. Everybody's out there on wet tires except old Lance Stroll. Lance, so wise, so risky. Put me on the soft. We'll take a gamble. I'll definitely get one car length ahead like this. I don't know if that's what he's thinking, but I feel like when you look at his confused eyes, that's what he's kind of thinking. And now they're lining back up on the grid, getting ready. 19 cars, that's right. 20 minus 1. Isaac Hadjar right now in his jammies, warming up by the fire. Drying his tears. Watching, and they're lined up, and here we go. The Melbourne Grand Prix is underway. And here we go, first turn, and hopefully no incidents on this first turn. I was betting there was going to be at least one wrong. They got all through the first turn. That's very exciting. And they're off. No accidents so far. Very good. I'm glad to hear we're going to have ourselves an exciting race. And it's still up front. It's Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Actually, let's take that back. Max Verstappen is overtaken. He's in second. Oscar Piastri in first. Max Verstappen in second. And Lando Norris in third. And the shirt already up. There we go. That's what I thought. It was too simple. I thought everybody was going to be professional. And another rookie accident. The Australian Jack Doohan is out of the race. He's already gotten tagged. And that's another safety car. That's right, 2 safety cars, and one of them before the race even started. We're going to be down to 18 cars real quick. Honestly, right now, I don't know if Jack Doohan actually hit anything. It looks like they pulled him over for a broken taillight. I think his car just stalled out. We got to see that replay when we get a chance. Well, they're still trying to warm up their tires here as the safety car pulls out. And might as well say a little bit about rookies, because as I said before, this is the biggest rookie class since 2010. Boy, are they young. Too young, like some of them childlike, like so young that Yuki Tsunoda looks like the elder statesman here, and he looks like an anime character at times. I gotta tell you, he is the oldest guy out there compared to, and yep, that's what happened. Jack Doohan ran into a collision, and he's out for the race. That is 2 rookies out of this race. One of them, Isaac Hadjar, before anything had actually started. And Jack Doohan, no, there goes one of my predictions right now. Carlos Sainz also in the wall. That's 3 cars we have not completed a lap here in Australia at the Grand Prix. My gosh. And that's the race for Carlos Sainz. He's out. That's one more chance for Williams they could have had, and it's too bad. It's too bad. Alex Albon's going to have to bear that brunt anyway. That's too bad. I'm a big Carlos Sainz fan. He looks like somebody who'd be fun to hang out with. He's got a cool dad. His dad messed around this last year, 2024, and won the Dakar Rally for Audi. That's pretty exciting stuff. A lot of racing in that family. Anyway, as I was saying, a lot of rookies out there. Let's introduce you to some of them. Let's introduce you to people like Andrea Kinney Antonelli from Mercedes. Now, his number's 12, but he also looks that old. That's right. He's a young one. I don't even think he has his real driver's license, and he is filling the seat, the very big vacant seat that Lewis Hamilton left behind. Over there at Haas, we have Oliver Behrman, who ran into a little trouble in FP1. Yeah, he wrecked there, went a little too hard in the paint, but what are you going to do? You got some nervous jitters. That's going to happen. Hey, you're Haas, so get used to it. There's going to be a lot of slippery and wrecking and maybe a wheel coming off. But that's Haas. That's their brand. And then a favorite right now of mine is Gabriel Bortoleto. That's right, from Brazil. He's racing for Kick Sauber. Jack Doohan, who, well, guess what? You might want to go get a fishing pole because you're going to be occupying your time. And Isaac Hadjar of the Racing Bulls, who, like I said before, is out of the race on the formation lap. And finally, Liam Lawson, who makes his promotion from the Racing Bulls to Red Bull Racing to shadow Max Verstappen. And I got to tell you, that's not an easy guy to follow. He's kind of a competitor, if in case you haven't noticed. We're in the second race. We're in the third lap of this race, and I almost think Max has had it won. I don't know. That's what I'm just used to seeing. That guy is dominant. So there's your rookie class, everybody. Your rookie class going into the Melbourne Grand Prix. If we can ever get started again, well, here we go. We're off again. We're going to try again, and here we are. The races are off. We're back to racing here. And ooh, Verstappen tried to take it all, and it is now Team Papaya at 1 and 2, and Max Verstappen in third. Very exciting. And there we go. What do we have here in fourth? Is that? There we go. Well, we're going to get started here. Once we get some movement here, I'm going to run you through all the racers that are here, give you a little story about them all. Oh, goodness. Look at all this out here. This is just, oh, I think we might even have another wreck. Oh, no, they're playing other ones. I get confused. There's been so many. There's a lot of debris out there, and it's going to be a second. Here we go. But listen, Noah Alonso's in fourth, and I like to see that. He's one of my predictions in the top 5. Want to see him finish out. This guy's a 2-time world champion. He knows how to do it. Oh, Carlos. Poor Carlos spinning out. That's going to break my heart. I love Carlos Sainz. He's great. I want him to show everybody that it was a mistake that he had to leave Ferrari. I mean, I get it. You're going to get Lewis Hamilton. You're going to take that trade. But guess what? You're over at Williams, which is kind of like the Dunder Mifflin of racing. Legend has it that on his first day, somebody took Carlos Sainz's stapler and stuffed it in a Jell-O mold. All right, well, I tell you what, why don't we talk about some of our drivers out there while we're getting started, run through here. Safety car is back out again. This safety car, I got to tell you, I hope this car is an EV because it's going to get refueled about 1 million times. I have never seen so many safety cars, yellow flags. And by the way, I've only seen 2 races, so everything I'm saying is true. Yeah, you got to get that car off there. Oh, boy, who is that? Who we got? That's right. They're still on a yellow flag. So why don't we talk about some of our racers that we're racing with today here? I'm going to start in a way I saw how everybody qualified, and I wanted to talk about them from the way down. And let's get to know our drivers. I like to get to know them because I forget about them a lot. Here we go. Number 1, Lando Norris from McLaren. That's right. A favorite here of they're the team to beat McLaren. If you like excitement and speed, they got the fastest car. Lando Norris has been with McLaren since its F1 debut in 2019. Known for his speed and consistency, he played a pivotal role in McLaren's resurgence in recent seasons, and he's a champion. Also, behind him, Oscar Piastri, who, well, not a rookie, but also very young, but also very hungry to be a world champion. So you got 2 incredible drivers in the fastest cars. I think they're the team to beat and the drivers to beat this year. They're really feeling it. And then behind that, Max Verstappen, the fearsome Mad Max. And I can say Mad Max because we're in Australia. And Mad Max is from Australia. So you see what I did there? I got them all together. It's something. So Max Verstappen is a five. Max Verstappen's a four-time world champion, and he's looking to get his fifth consecutive one. If he does that, he'll be the second one since Michael Schumacher. Well, and it looks like all the drivers are getting back into the pit. I might be gritting up. I'm honestly confused as to what's happening. It looks like they're just kind of taking a Sunday drive at this point, so I'm not exactly sure. If they get into the pit, they're probably changing tires because things are drying up out there. But I'm not sure what's going on. So back to who's out there. George Russell, number 63 for Mercedes, the British gentleman. There's nobody more British than George Russell, maybe even the royal family. This guy's name is George Russell. He sounds like he'll make you a cup of tea anytime you want. But then be a little snobby. He might throw some snobby shade at you, but then he'll give you a wink with those beautiful eyes. Make you feel good inside. And then after that is my man, Yuki Tsunoda, my man from Japan, from the Racing Bulls. Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda debuted in F1 with 2020. Notice the Racing Bull, known for his aggressive driving and also his radio talk. He's gotta be something, and he got into P5 when he was qualifying here. P5, and that's something I didn't expect to see. And I think he's fueled by the fact he's been overlooked a lot to get promoted to the varsity team of Red Bull Racing from the Racing Bulls. Behind that, Alexander Albon, the Thai British driver for Williams, still out there doing it. He's the only Williams driver that's available since Carlos Sainz was put down. That's right, Carlos Sainz, formerly of Ferrari, now moving over to Williams, and now sitting watching with Isaac Hajar as they sit in their pajamas, eating, stuffing their faces with guilt. It's a rainy day. That's what you do. Watch The Notebook. That's what I do. And then you have the handsome Charles Leclerc, the Monegasque driver. Charles Leclerc joined Ferrari 2019, celebrated for his qualifying speed and racecraft. He secured multiple wins for Scuderia Ferrari. And then this man needs no introduction. And I'm not going to give it to him. Lewis Hamilton. If you don't know who Lewis Hamilton is, what are you doing here? I mean, come on. He was on the cover of Time magazine. He just did a complete remake of the Ferris Bueller's Day Off on social media. If you don't know about Lewis Hamilton, I can't tell you about him. I secretly don't know that much about Lewis Hamilton. I can look it up. Next up, Fernando Alonso. Yes, Fernando, the Spanish two-time world champion, racing for Aston Martin. Behind that, you've got Fernando Alonso, son of the owner of Aston Martin. And God bless him, he's out there. He hasn't crashed, so I cannot pass judgment. I made a resolution, my new season resolution, of not disparaging drivers as much. But it's really hard not to disparage him because he's really in a good situation. I mean, just Google it. It's unbelievable. I want to be an F1 driver. Dad, why wouldn't you let me be an F1 driver? Anyway, Jack doing, well, he's sitting down anyway. And Gabriel Bortoleto wanting to show what he's made of. Hopefully he just keeps at his start, doesn't wreck it. That's what I'm hoping I get seen and done. I don't want anything to happen to my buddy. And then Nico Kick Sauber. Oh, this guy, I tell you what, this guy doesn't know how not to drive. He's always on a team. He's been, I don't know how long he's been racing, but I swear to God, he's been racing for 20 years. This guy never doesn't have a seat. He is Mr. Consistent. Now, I don't know what that means, but that's another way of saying I don't know I have anything to say, but you're still here. And that's important. Being one of 20 people that can only do this at any given time is kind of a big deal. Nico Hülkenberg. Then there's Liam Lawson of the Red Bull Racing. That's right. He's taking a seat. Sergio Perez is out. Liam Lawson's in from the Racing Bulls. And this guy is something. He's a Kiwi, and sounds very Australian. In fact, sometimes I think they're the same thing. I know they hate to hear that, but I got to tell you, it's confusing. I can't see the dialect. I can't hear it. And then we have Esteban Ocon of my favorite team, Haas. I'm picking them to win the Constructors' Championship. They're going to do it. They're going to come from behind and maybe even get a victory today. Well, now it stopped raining, so probably not. But they have both cars in, and that's more than I can say for three other people in this race. And then last but not least, Oliver Bearman, the rookie. And this is a kid who had a tough time in the FP1. He spun the car, and he was a little embarrassed, but I don't know if it's anything more embarrassing than what Isaac Hadjar did. That was, I mean, at least with practice, you're driving fast. It was almost like he was an idol when he spun out Isaac. I don't know. I'm trying to get over it, folks, but I don't know. I've had a few fender benders, but I've never dinged up an F1 car. That's got to be pricey, right? You can't just take that down to your buddy Chad that you know and have him replace the parts with some stuff in Bondo. No, that's going to cost you a few bucks, right? It's gonna set you back. Anywho, all right, it's starting to dry out there, and it looks like we're up to racing. New safety car's still out. Man, this safety car is putting on some miles. I tell you what, I don't know if I can afford an Aston Martin, but after this race, this thing's going to have enough miles that can get me a significant discount. I'm almost F1 royalty. Well, looks like the track is drying out. Hey, they're hauling butts, and that Aston Martin, that practice car is moving on a cliff. I don't want it. Definitely want it. Gonna buy it. When I get all the money from this, when I get all the money for this amazing race, what would I call it? A Jason cast? Should I call it a Jason cast? Should I call it? I'll call it the Formula One, the Formula Fun podcast. That's right. Could be catchier though. I'll come back to that. That seems like a good one right there. Oh, look at that behind me. Look at that. I can see live race data behind me. It's exciting. Looks like yellows in front of orange, and then like baby blues over there. Wish I could see it, but you can see it, and that's all that matters. That looks attractive back there. Here we go. And still a yellow flag. I don't even see the practice car anymore. What's happening out there? Come on, there's cold people in the stands. They've been sitting there. There's a bunch of prune butts. Everyone's got prune butt out there. And here we go. The race is on. No more prune butt. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody here didn't take 18 flights to get there. It took almost 24 hours just to watch this race in the rain. So give them something to see, I say. Look at that, Max Verstappen back in second. This guy's as an assassin. And my man George Russell in fourth. Look who's got all the great predictions. That's right. George Russell filling up a big old teacup as he's driving in there, making Stephen himself some tea. And it's Lando Norris in front of Max Verstappen in second and Oscar Piastri in third. And that's got to burn up the Aussie behind Max. That's got to fuel his fire to get by. George Russell behind. And everybody's pretty tight right now. It's a tight race. In the rain, I don't know if you knew this out there, you can't use DRS. I might have said this before, but I find it fascinating because I overheard somebody else saying it. And if I say it like this, you think I maybe said it. That's right. DR. What does it stand for? Do not resuscitate or drag race super whatever. All I know is it makes you go a little faster, and it makes that spoiler in the back worth something. I used to have a Mitsubishi Galant back in the day that had a spoiler, and I probably never drove it over 70. But I'll tell you what it was good for, helping me see anything behind me. I was in quite a few fender benders. I blame myself, but then I blame the spoiler. Here we go. Charles Leclerc. Look at my boy Charles Leclerc in fifth. A lot of my predictions coming true right now. A separate Carlos Sainz. Poor Carlos sitting alone in the pit right now. Hamilton in eighth. Alexander Albon in seventh. And my boy Yuki Tsunoda in sixth. He's holding on tight. I love it. This guy's got a fire in him. Little Yuki, you're going to do it. Oh, the race is tight, and I like it already. Hey, a little segment I want to work on right now. It's segment I call I Pitch Myself to Kick. That's right. We're streaming live here on Kick, but we don't actually have them as a sponsor. This is the part where I pitch them on how great we would be as a product. Formula Fun is proudly streamed on Kick. Well, not proudly, more like desperately and enthusiastically in the hopes that they, meaning Kick, notices us. While other platforms are out here policing your words like an overzealous substitute teacher, Kick lets you say what's really on your mind. Within reason, we think. Actually, we're still pushing that boundary. So, Kick, if you're watching, just send the check and pretend we never had this conversation. Kick, where bad takes can thrive and sometimes go viral for all the wrong reasons. What do you think? Kick, I'm sitting here by the phone. Yeah, that's right. It's a landline, but I'm going to wait for it to ring. I think it's a good opportunity. We should work together. Anyway, I'm not going anywhere because you let me have an account. So thank you for that. Whoa, Lando Norris with a little bit of a slide, but he gets it back, loses a little time, but gets it back. He pushed it. Still in the race, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, one of the announcers accused Max of maybe making a mistake. I don't know if you do this, but Max can hear any sort of criticism and use it to go faster. If he wins, that's your fault, buddy. Track still damp, people being cautious, no DRS, everybody's minding their P's and Q's and T's and Y's. And by T's and Y's, I mean tire, because that's how they spell tires in F1, with a Y instead of an I. It's confusing to me, and I honestly think I have to use spell check all the time. I'll tell you, this race has got a lot of drama in it already, and Max Verstappen waiting to take first place. He is a psycho, or at least that's how Netflix makes him out to be. That's right, Netflix taking some hits out there, taking some hits from the drivers. That's right. Even though Netflix's hugely successful docuseries Drive to Survive has done wonders for the marketing of F1, the drivers are showing signs of the way they are made to look on the show at times, meaning that maybe this show is telling a story rather than telling the real thing. Meaning that they don't have things that have happened that make reality twists and tell a little bit better of a story, like George Russell having an anxiety attack after driving in his car in Singapore. I mean, the guy was overheating. It was like 100 degrees in his car, and he got dipped into an ice bath. I don't blame him. Or Max Verstappen made to look like a villain when, in all reality, he's really good friends with Lando Norris. Or my favorite, Charles Leclerc's debit card not working, saying insufficient funds, but then desperately pleading, it was a joke. Sure it was, Charles Leclerc. Sure it was. Hey, let's talk about my man from Brazil. Some people say the next Senna. I just like saying his name, Gabriel Bortoleto. He probably doesn't like it when you say that when he comes in. He's probably like, why are you announcing me like this? I'm not even Italian. What do you think this is, a Pizza Hut? A fine Italian restaurant like Pizza Hut? Now I'm hungry. I could go for some pizza right now. Gabriel Bortoleto. I can't help it. I love saying it. It just makes me feel good. Let's talk about Isaac Hadjar. I'm sorry, folks. I can't talk about Isaac Hadjar. The guy wrecked on a practice lap that wasn't even a practice. It was almost at Rose Bowl parade speed. I've never seen anybody spin out in so little pressure in their lives. I would probably do it the second I got behind the wheel. I don't blame him. I kind of blame him. This is your big moment. Don't worry. The world wasn't watching. Yes, they were. So was I. I was watching, and I keep bringing it up. I do feel bad for you, pal, but that's being a rookie. You know what I really feel bad for? Your pit crew hammering out the dance right now. If you were Isaac had a swear jar. Oh, boy. I didn't like it, though. He walked down with his head down. I do kind of appreciate, though. I don't like it when a driver gets out of a wrecked car like nothing happened, like, oh, wow, that's kind of an expensive fix. You might want to act like you're upset. So I can tell he was upset. Boy, folks, I got to tell you, if you're getting bored with the things I got to say, you got to listen to some of the stuff that these announcers talk about. Tires, tread depth, tires, tread depth, tires, tread depth. Why don't they talk about cool stuff like baseball cards, ninjas, flying? None of that. Just tire depth. Oh, it's another controversy brought to you by the folks over at Big Rubber. Yeah, you know, one time they gave me a big rubber once. I gotta tell you, huge rubber, huge. I said tire, folks. What? Tire, a rubber tire. What is wrong with you? I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying. I'm a professional. I used to do this for a living. Anyway, Kimi Antonelli in 13th. Look at him. Still not wrecking his car. Way to go, buddy. You're still in the race. Between it. He's in a Nico Hülkenberg. Between Stroll and Hülkenberg. Antonelli, you got it, man. I gotta tell you, I think the biggest surprise of this season so far is my man from Japan, Yuki Tsunoda. Biggest surprise of the year, this race. And this race. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm gonna root for this guy because F1 75, I don't know if you heard of it. It was this big, lavish, it was basically a fashion show for cars. And it was a big to-do. And Machine Gun Kelly came out and all sorts of different artists. And Machine Gun Kelly, he said he didn't give an F1 in his song. And a lot of people said it was lame. And by a lot, I mean anybody with ears. And they didn't like it. And anyway, so everybody comes out. You got to come out there and stand by your car in your race outfit. It's a little weird. And then one of the comics roasted Yuki for being a small guy. And I didn't like it. I don't like it when somebody picks on the little guy. So I said, I'm going to secretly root for my man from Japan, Yuki Tsunoda. And guess what? He didn't disappoint. He got himself a P6 in qualifying. And I got to tell you, that's tough considering he's one of those guys that Everybody, including Christian Horner, says it's got his head on the chopping block by not saying it at all and just inferring it and giving one of his smarmy looks. Christian Horner might as well have added axe. But I'm rooting for you, Yuki. You're going to do great things. He's still in 6th place. He's gave up nothing. Alexander Hamilton in 8th place. Still consistent, still finding us, still learning that car. I'm telling you, it's a different vehicle. You think you could do it, but no, it's engineered all weird. It's got Italian leather in it. There's no cup holders. It's probably real hard to get in and out of. There's a lot of parts that are handmade out of some weird leather that's orange. Ooh, Kimi Antonelli with a little bit of a spin out, but he's okay. He's fine. Not bad. Not bad for a spin out, losing 1 position to Hulkenberg. I mean, the guy did a 360, got back out there. That tells you something. That guy's a competitor. Oh, and he also missed a wall. That's what also that tells you. You kind of show up and you're missing 2 tires and a wing. You can't just say you spun out and hit some gravel. Oh, is that true? Is it dry so it's quicker? Oh, thank you for the insight. Oh, gosh. How do I not getting paid to call this race? I got to tell you, my insight is valuable. Oh, look at that. Max Verstappen went off and brushed the gravel. That puts him behind. He's in 3rd. Oh, look at that. It is a papaya 1 and 2. Max Verstappen cursing in his weird language. Probably very angry. And somehow going to blame maybe his team. I got to tell you, Max is a matter-of-fact dude. Real matter-of-fact. He literally said that his car is probably not fast enough to win this race. And that is kind of a little bit of throwing shade at the old pit crew. Like, hey, buddy, I'm not saying the car isn't slow, but in my own way, I'm saying the car is super slow. Yeah, it's tough out there. I got to tell you. Yeah, Max went off the course a little bit, but he's still in it. Had to slow down for a little bit. I guarantee someone's going to get yelled at for that on his private jet on the way back home. Ooh, right into a puddle. Splashed a bunch of ducks. Got to tell you, a lot of people would be eating gravel after that slide off the turn. He didn't. He pulled out. Look at that. Ooh. Kimi Antonelli overtaking Nico Hulkenberg. He's back in the race after doing a 360. And here comes Lewis Hamilton in 8th, and he's in hot pursuit of Alex Albon. Alex Albon having himself a day. Oh, here we go. It looks like Hamilton's getting close enough to overtake. One more thing. Gabriel Bortoleto. Well, there have been a lot of shakeups. A lot of shakeups in F1 this year. But there's one that hasn't stopped, and that is the consistency over at Aston Martin. Aston Martin. There have been a lot of shakeup for a lot of F1 teams this season, but Aston Martin decided to stay the same. And why wouldn't? Why wouldn't you mess with perfection? And 2-time champ Fernando Alonso is back. Oh, it's Lance Stroll. Oh, good. That's great news for all you Stroll heads out there. Yeah, Strollaholics. Yeah, Stroll Nation? Good Stroll. Anybody fans of Lance? Anyone? Does anybody want to say his name? Like in a positive light? Will anyone raise their hands if they love Lance Stroll? Anybody? And please leave a detailed list of reasons why, so maybe I could Okay, I'm starting to feel like this guy isn't well liked. Anyway. They're back. Good old Lance. Did I mention the fine folks at they sponsor an F1 team? Huh? Hey? Yeah. You know, if you're out there and you're listening to us and you like what we're doing and you see this great race coverage and you wonder how we pull it off and you want to do business with us, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and race one of your cars for you. What do you say? One of those beautiful green and black cars. I can see myself in there racing along with Nico Hulkenberg. Come on, man, Nico. It'd be a good time. It's fun. So what do you think? That's my first offer. My second offer is don't do any of that and just pay us to do what we're doing right now. What do you think? I got to tell you, either way, we're going to be mentioning you all the time. And yes, maybe it is pointless if we're just talking about you on this stream, on your platform. Maybe, but we'll tell other people. Word of mouth gets around. Lap 20 of 57 right now. This is exciting stuff. Norris in first, Piastri in second, Verstappen in third, Russell in fourth, Leclerc in fifth, and Yuki Tsunoda, the cement that is sixth place. Alexander Albon in seventh, and Lewis Hamilton, eighth place. Pierre Gasly in ninth, and everybody's favorite, Fernando Alonso, followed by nobody's favorite, Lance Stroll. On my favorite team of all time, you're not going to believe it, is in 16th and 17th place. And you'd think that was an improvement, but there's only 17 places in this race since 3 people are out. Dead last. But they're 1 and 2 at dead last. And that's never an accident. Oh, looks like the rain's starting to come down again. We're going to get some sprinkles, and that's going to be some. Everyone's going to get a little confident on these tires, and now we're getting some sprinkles, and that means some wet track. It's slippery when wet, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's a wet track. That's what I'm talking about. It is a 1-2-3 dominance. I'm telling you, it is crazy how competitive Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri are being right now. And then the Max Verstappen's just laying in wait, waiting for you to make a mistake, because that's the monster he is. Mad Max is waiting for mistakes. He eats them for breakfast. I'm telling you, there's a lot of pressure. Well, there was a lot of pressure. Half of that pressure's gone. Jack Doohan's out, but a lot of pressure on Oscar Piastri to win this weekend. And it can happen. He's right there at the front with Lando Norris. Only Oscar Piastri. Okay, listen, look, Jack and Oscar are the only two kangaroos to be representing for their home country. So, I mean, you're there, you want to win, it's got to be tough. You're also, your mom's watching, your dad's watching, everybody's judging. I'm here, I'm talking about it. It's going to get back to them. So they want to win, but you don't want to push it too hard because it's raining. Don't make a mistake. But win. Lewis Hamilton, you got to love him. I mean, this guy is something else. He is a legend. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's get into it with him. And what an incredible off season. Maybe the best off season of life. I think he had the best off season of any sport. This is a guy who gets a send off from Mercedes, which is like a parade. It is the farewell of farewells. Then the next thing you know, he's being welcomed with more pomp and circumstance over at Ferrari. Like a brand like Ferrari, like, come over. And by the way, you get to stay in Enzo Ferrari's mansion that you now own and have inherited. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have the best Instagram photo of all time that'll make the Kardashians jealous. This guy's out there draped in high Italian fashion. He's posting next to a mansion. He's sitting next to a classic Ferrari F40. It is incredible. And then on the other side, Carlos Sainz, he shows up to Williams. And I'm like, I don't think this guy's lanyard is going to work. Still 1-2 Norris, Piastri, 3 Verstappen. And everybody else trying to figure it out. George Russell, Leclerc, Sonoda's still in 6. My cement, my rock, my man from Japan. Am I not being recorded at all? Or what's going on? Right, stop talking about stuff leaking all over each other. That's weird. I'm trying to watch you guys race cars in a circle. Stop making it weird, sexual. I don't want to hear that. This is all about competition, not weird, leaky. I'm tired of hearing about moisture and everybody being moist and wet, strange. Oh, yeah? Do you think George Russell's a nice guy? Well, I've heard on the inside other words. I heard he might be cranky. We'll find out. If there's one thing Jason Waterfalls is good at, it's getting to the bottom of everything. Now, what is this race we're watching? NASCAR. Okay. It's not horseback. F1, right? F1. Of course. Now, a lot of people saying that there's going to be some sort of driver rules, like in McLaren, that maybe it's going to be Lando Norris is the favorite and Oscar Piastri the rookie. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like Oscar's pretty good. And I think from what I'm seeing is they're letting them race. They're letting them compete against each other. There's no 1-2. You do what I say, and you smell like number 2, and I'm number 1. I don't know who's number 1 or number 2. All I know is they have the fastest cars by far. I don't even know if Max Verstappen's still on the track. He's so far behind. Like, I can't even see his car. How far is he behind? There he is. Yeah. We're on lap 27 to 57. 27 to 57. I can tell you right now, it's Lando Norris up front, Oscar Piastri in second, and Verstappen is half an hour behind. I don't even know how that happened. I honestly think he did it on purpose to give himself a challenge. That's how dominant he is. Lap 27 of 57. I mean, it's like watching two people race without other people. It's unbelievable. I don't even know where the other racers are. I feel like somebody's about, by somebody, I mean, my boys are in Haas are about to get lapped. I don't love it, but hurry it up a little bit over there. There's Isaac Hadjar right there. Apologizing, getting a hug, feeling bad. Don't worry, buddy. Your voice will crack one day. It'll happen. Hamilton, try to make a move. Come on, get Alex Albon. He can't be that much quicker than you. Looks like they're allowed to use DRS. Do I? I do. Let me shut it down. Oh, look, the sun is out. Max Verstappen is 15 seconds behind Oscar Piastri for third place. That's like 4 days. And it looks like, and they're about to lap a Haas. They're about to lap a Haas right now. Oliver Behrman. Oh man, that's a bummer. But at least you're not wrecking. Oh, those dudes are slow. Next car to pass is Esteban Ocon, another member of Haas. That can't feel good to know that people are coming from behind you to lap you, especially when they're friends. And they are just whooping Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri way in front, already lapping people. And it looks like it's going to be Esteban Ocon who takes the blue flag and gets out of the way. And they just lapped both drivers of Haas. Look at that. These guys are cooking with gas. But they're a hybrid. Don't forget, these cars are hybrids. Not all gas, hybrids. How does that work? I'm not sure. I heard so there's a battery. They got to go to a car charging station. I'm not sure either, but they don't fuel up. They never fuel up at a pit stop. It's all about the tires. In fact, it's against the rules to fuel up. Also, you don't have time. There's like a second. Who has time? I mean, I might run and get some Skittles. Might get myself, some Funyuns for the ride, but that's me. That's how I roll. Little fishtail over there by Piastri. Almost lost it, but I got it back. Still just a millisecond. I mean, these guys are on top of each other. Well, this is the part of the race where sometimes I like to dial it down. Tensions are high. People are a little crazy. It's my time to tell you a bedtime story. That's right. Tell you a bedtime story. There's a little story about my favorite racer, Yuki Tsunoda. That's right. Yuki, the man who slayed the dragon. And that dragon is Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, the Monegasque dragon. One day, Yuki was marching around his kingdom, looking for a dragon to slay, and then he found Charles Leclerc sitting in his cage, speaking all French and such as they do. And then I'd like to tell you that Yuki was real cool about it. They fought to the death, face to face, but Yuki's a little sneak and got in there and slashed his throat, drank his blood, stole his heart. That's my man Yuki for you. And hear the last part. Right now, I just overheard Lewis Hamilton getting pestered by his pit crew, and he just said, listen, I'll do it when I'm close and good and ready. Wow. How dare you tell Lewis Hamilton how to do anything? That's really Italian, too, the way he spoke back. I like that. That's good. Folks, on my last story over there, I didn't want you to think it's okay to sneak up behind somebody and cut their throat. That's not something there's no moral to that story. I'm just trying to keep it light and entertaining with the story about murdering dragons. That's all. And also, maybe don't try to eat somebody. Cannibalism might have been brought up there. Don't eat anybody. That's a good rule to live by, I found out. They're high fat, a lot of processed foods. You're gonna get heartburn. It's no good. 32 of 57 over here. It is getting exciting. Well, exciting for everyone else, being lapped by Oscar Piastri. Oh, there's a bit of a gap right there. Look at that. 2 seconds finally in between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, where they were neck and neck the whole time. Somebody must have slipped a little bit. Yep, there it was. Piastri got a little bit off the track. I got to tell you, a little bit of a mistake will cost you. I'm learning as I go is that just a little bump off that'll cost you a second. Max Verstappen is half an hour behind them at third place. And look at that. It looks like both Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are looking to lap Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson not loving it. Not loving to have to get out of the way. But I bet he's probably being told by Christian Horner to get in the way and slow down for Max. Verstappen's in third. Piastri's in second, and you know what? They should call the race. They should call it right now. How dare they? Piastri in second, Verstappen in third. This is unfair. And that's exactly what he said to radio to Christian Horner. Stop this race right now. I'm Max Verstappen. How dare you have me in third? I'm about to lap Liam Lawson, who should be lapped. I'm number one, and this rookie can stay in the back of pack with Haas. And no! Fernando Alonso into the wall. Oh no. Yellow flag, track hazard. Here comes another Aston Martin that hasn't been spun into the wall. It's called the safety car. 4 retirements in this race. Oh, that's too bad. Fan favorite Fernando Alonso eats it. And fan villain Lance Stroll's still out there. Damn it, everybody says. Damn it to hell. It looks like a bunch of drivers are heading into the pits for their tire. A bunch of Drivers are heading into the pits to change their tires right now because of the brake and the yellow car. That's what they're going to do. That's the strategy. I can hear you. Is it something I'm doing? Are you talking to me? Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I was muted because I didn't want to get doubled. Is it something I'm doing that's making it double? No, I cut out of the kick feed. I'm 100%. Yeah, I'm sure I don't have anything streaming open. Everyone's pitting right now, getting on normal racing slicks. These slicks are shiny and they need to get roughed up to get some, because I tell you, that track is still wet. But everybody getting those fresh sets of tires. Everybody going to medium tires. And I'll tell you what that means. It means I'm not sure why. I don't even know why you go to soft or hard. All I know is I don't know, I feel like it's a spur of the moment decision. But it looks like the track is drying up a little bit, and we're still under a safety car here. That means nobody's doing anything, but they're speeding up. They're making sure they get their tires warmed up right now. Lando Norris still in first, Oscar Piastri in second, and Max Verstappen in third. And we've lost four racers so far at lap 35 of 57. We've lost Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, Jack Doohan, and Isaac John. And it's going to be a minute because that car is still sitting there and it looks like nobody's rushing to get the vehicle off. So it's just going to sit there and people are going to warm up their tires for a while. Let that track dry off. Get that debris. Get all that debris. How's it sound so far? Does it sound doubled? Still, it is. Every time I talk, it sounds like that on your end. Almost an accident in the pits right there. That's not great. It's not good. It's like something I would do. I don't like to use my mirrors when I like to pull out. I like to just spontaneously get out into traffic. Let them know I'm coming. Get out of the way. Here comes Jason Waterfalls. And that's probably why I don't have a car. That's probably a good one. Something to think about. Looks like some intense rain is coming in. That's right. Just got a warning that some rain's going to come and it's going to mess them up. So expect some more dramatic crashes because it's going to get sloppier out there. Real sloppy and wet. Sloppy, wet track. Just dirty, sloppy. Oh, look, I can see right now there's an impending storm. Almost like the climax of a great story. Just when you think you're safe. That's when the warriors become warriors. Because let me tell you what's happened here. They're still in a yellow car. So that massive gap that Max Verstappen had in third has been completely closed. He's right behind Oscar Piastri. And that's exactly where you don't want Max Verstappen. Right behind you. Because that's when he gets. So just when everybody's going to get, this is going to be kind of dangerous because everybody just switched their tires to nice regular racing slicks. And then the impending doom is that big storm front coming in. And that's just going to get that track all sorts of messy. I just watched the pace car spin out a little bit. That's something I've never seen. Pace car getting a little off track. Oh, this is a great opportunity to talk to my good friends over at Kick. Yes, Kick, the very platform in which we're streaming on right now. Now, I don't know if anyone at Kick is actually watching this, but I choose to believe that somewhere deep in Kick corporate office, someone's got Formula Fun, the Formula Fun podcast up on a monitor, sipping a Fresca, wondering, should we throw some money at this lunatic? Well, let me speak for that lunatic. Yes, you should. Kick, I'm here for you. I will ride this wave all the way to the top. You want race day chaos? Have you been watching this broadcast? I am race day chaos. Sponsor me and I will take Formula Fun Global. Australia? Check. Europe? Check. Toledo, Ohio? Yeah. We'll figure it out. And here comes the heavy rain. All of the drivers still out there, and they're all still on normal racing slicks. Gotta tell you, Haas are sticking to their rain tires, and I think it's a smart move because they're about to get tons of water. Tons of water. They're gonna get dumped on. You watch. The people of Haas are gonna mess around and win this race. Lap 40 of 57. I guess here's something I learned just now. It doesn't matter. If the safety car's out, the laps still count if they're going around behind the safety car. Didn't know that till right now. That's called keeping it moving, folks. Let's keep it moving. It looks like a bunch of racers are changing their mind at the last second because they're finding out that this rainstorm is going to last longer than just one lap, so they're going back in to repit again and get some intermittent tires. I got to tell you, this would be confusing to me as well. I would just probably leave those little intermittent tires. I know racing slicks are probably faster.
Oh, Max flies high.
And it's moist out there, and there's a lot of gravel and ducks. Lots of ducks. seagulls, kangaroos, koalas, wallabies, walkabouts, crocodiles, dodo birds. Rain in 7 minutes. It's going to happen 7 minutes into this track. It's going to happen. And look at that. I got to tell you, I think Haas had it good before, but then they just switched their tires to racing slicks. They're going to regret that. There's going to be some repair work on those cars in a little bit. That's my other prediction. I really thought they were going to dark horse it. And, oh, look at that already. Oliver Behrman almost already spun out. He just got on the track. Oh, buddy. You got some ice skates on right now, don't you? It's lap 41 of 57. And at this point, I think the pace car is a race car. He's been out there so long. Like, what is happening? I sound good. That's what I like to hear. When people want to hear my voice, I want it to be crystal clear. Off to the races. Before it was double me. Now it's just one of me. I like it. Better quality means better comedy. As it stands, we're here at lap 41 of 57. It's Norris in first, Piastri in second. Evil Max Verstappen. He's not really evil, but that's what Netflix wants you to believe. And then we got George Russell in fourth, Charles Leclerc in fifth. And let's give it up for my man from Japan, Yuki Tsunoda in sixth. My man from Japan in sixth. He will not be passed. I will live in sixth place, he said. And I'm rooting for him. That's a strong standing from the Racing Bull. Here we go. Finally, race is back on. Oh my gosh. That is I've never seen a safety car out there so long. The car was out there for like 5 laps. And we flew out here to watch 5 laps at like 25 miles an hour. Let's get it moving. What kind of snacks they got there? What kind of snacks they got at the old F1? I wonder if they got popcorn. Is it Vegemite sandwiches? Is that something? Tim Tams? Shrimps, Barbies, dingoes, eating babies? What's going on? That heavy rain is going to hit in 4 minutes. Everybody changed their tires to racing slicks. This is bad news. It's gotta be. You just asked the silliest question ever. Is it the hardest thing to be a Formula One when you have the wrong tire? Yeah, I would say so, you weirdo. No, it's easy. That's why I do it the hard way, because it's easy. Oh, Zach Brown from McLaren must be doing flips. Oh, but look at that. Max Verstappen only 2.8 behind Oscar Piastri. That's striking distance. Oh, DRS is back. That means we're going to see some overtaking, and it's about time. We need some of that overtaking, because I got to tell you, Lewis Hamilton lives in 8th place, and Yuki Tsunoda gets his mail sent to 6th. Let's see some movement, guys. Come on. Let's check in with my boys over at Haas. Dead last still, 15th and 16th. Okay. Let's check in with my boys. Kick Sauber. You know, Kick, they stream us right now. Okay, let's see. They're got to be in for 11th and 12th. Not quite good. That's not great. And Liam Lawson in a crappy sandwich between those two. That's not awesome either. But you know what? You'll figure it out. You got a fast car. You're just being a little conservative out there. That's okay. I would be too. I'd probably be going about 50 miles per hour around these turns. Kimi Antonelli intense. Look at that. If there's going to be any aggressive movement in this race, it's got to happen now, because that's the only time you're going to have a right track. Oh, we're going to see some spins. I tell you what, we're getting a lot of rain here in a few seconds. Here comes the rain, ladies and gentlemen. And here comes a bunch of guys who chose the wrong tire. It's lap 44 of 57. I got to tell you, we're about a second away from about a monsoon's worth of rain. And I'm looking at a bunch of guys who maybe shouldn't have changed their tires the way they did. I wouldn't have done it. As after all, you know I'm an expert on this, and I don't own a car, nor have I bought tires ever. So, but I would have changed them. Believe me, I know what I'm doing. Louis Hamilton for a gamble. Oh, no. Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri is spun out. Oh, he's stuck in the grass. Oh, no, he can't get back to the race. He went from second to not completing this race. It's only Lando Norris. And I got news for you back at home, folks. Max Verstappen in first place. Oh, my goodness. And you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. My man from Japan, Yuki Tsunoda in second place. Lewis Hamilton in third place. Pierre Gasly in fourth. Charles Leclerc in fifth. This has been a whole deck shuffle. That's all I got to say. And I said deck for all the people at home. I said deck shuffle. Like cards. If you're playing cards, you shuffle the cards. And that's what happened. And I got to tell you, a man who has been leading this race in second place, almost first, the entire time in front of his home crowd, his home track, has just spun completely out and is off the race. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Yellow flag. That's right. Here comes the He's going to try to get back in the race himself. I got to give it to Oscar Piastri. Here's a guy who's in reverse in full speed. And he's getting the cheers. The whole crowd is cheering for him for not giving up on his car and getting back in there. But he is dead last. And he's got a lot of work. And I got to give it up for him. The crowd is going crazy for the Aussie right now, rooting for him. And he's going in and pitting. He's going to pit and get himself some intermittent tires. And I got to tell you, this may be a secret great. It's not that great of a move. He definitely lost a lot of places at Max Verstappen this first. And I know he didn't want that. But I want to root for him because the whole hometown crowd is rooting for him too. It's bedlam down here. And he's got the intermittent tires as the rain comes down. They're going to see him. I got to admit, I admire his pass and he didn't give up. On wet grass, he still throttled that thing in reverse. That is incredible. And here comes the rain, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the rain. I know it's lap 46 of 57, but that's a long race, and that's a lot of things that can happen in the middle of this rain. A lot of these people are stuck on those racing slicks. Max Verstappen's very far first with Lewis Hamilton 8 seconds behind him. Oscar Piastri somehow in front of Oliver Bierman. I gotta tell you, that's pretty amazing. The guy was off the track and had to back himself back on, and somehow we know why he's back. Max Verstappen is pitted right now, and I got to tell you, Lewis Hamilton now in first place with Charles Leclerc in second. It's a Ferrari 1-2 with Lando Norris in third, and Yuki Tsunoda in fourth, and Max Verstappen in fifth. Hamilton's taking a gamble with hard tires in the rain, and I got to tell you, it is a gamble. 47 of 57. We got a lot of race, and it is slippery as all get out there. I don't know because I'm not there, but I see a bunch of cars fishtailing. And that's usually my cue to stay home. Liam Watson goes into the wall. That would be number 5. Number 5. Number 5. 5 racers out on this. This is just chaos. Oh no, bad news for everybody back in H2. Our favorite racer, Gabriel Buttaletto. He's out of the race. That's another rookie. That's right, another rookie. That's 3 rookies, 1 race. Safety car is out again. I hope that safety car's got a full tank of gas, as I predicted, because he has been out the whole time. Gabriel went can. Oh, man. They didn't even hit each other. They just both fell off the track. Oh, that's a bummer. It is anybody's race out there. The lead has changed in the last 30 seconds 58 times. I swear. I didn't blink or try to read a book or anything when you weren't looking. 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 10 laps to go. And yes, guess what? The only car in first place right now is the safety car. Oh no! Lewis Hamilton pits. He gave up his gamble. He's going to put he's putting on the all-weathers right now, and he's going to be fine. There they go. But he gives up first place for the second. Lando. Who's that behind me? Who's talking like that? Hey, Lando, it's me. It's your worst nightmare. Ha, 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 ha. It's me, Max Verstappen, and I'm right behind you. You thought you were so fast, so quick. I am world champion. Get away from me. I don't know why you would watch it. I'm trying to be my own. You're just a little boy. See you on the jet in the cook chair. I'm right behind you. I got new tires. You've got those hot tires. Oh, you hear that rumble? That's my car. I got some very wet rubber coming behind you. Come closer to me. Get away from me, man. I don't know why you're doing this. I thought we were friends. I don't know why you're trying to escape me. I just want to be close to your backside. Why? Stop it. I'm trying to win this race. Come here, Lando. I've got some sweet. Lando, come here. Come here. I want to pick your star. Come here. No, my name Yuki went off too. Everybody's sliding off the track left and right. This is unbelievable. It's anybody's race right now. It's lap 49 and 57. We got Lando Norris in front. Verstappen right behind you, Lando. I see you. I love the way you break your line. George Russell in third. Alex Albon in fourth. And for some reason, Kimi Antonelli in fifth. What's happening? Is this Mario Kart? Did somebody hit a mushroom? Red shell? It is chaos out there. Lewis Hamilton was just in first and then somehow in ninth. Well, why is Oscar Piastri last? He slipped off the track. He probably got spooked by Max Verstappen. Like, let me at your friend. You're a cute boy, but let me at your friend. Was my boy Lando. Oh, so slippery. I can't. Come on, let me win. We do the safety dance on my private jet. Come on. I can dance if I want to, because I always want to dance. Because if Max can't dance, you can't dance, and you can't dance with Max. So I can pass. Everyone can pass. Max can pass. Max can pass. You're not allowed to pass the safety car unless you've been lapped a million times, which is what Haas does. Come on. I'll fuel up the jet. Ha 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 ha. Come on, Lando. Get away from me. I don't know why you're doing like that. I thought we were friends. We are not friends. I make you think we're friends, but I get in your head. I live there in free. Come here, Lando. This may be the slowest race I've ever seen. They get the pass of the safety car the whole time. Yes, what do you want? Poor guy. Oscar Piastri. Oh, he must be bummed. Yuki Tsunoda, you sixth-place magician. What happened to you? Liam Lawson. I gotta admit, I wouldn't want to spin out, but that was a pretty good recovery. I gotta tell you, nothing like a 360 burnout to make you feel like one of the Dukes of Hazzard. Is it? I don't know if it is. Somebody refuel that car. It's been out here. It's going to be back out here again. Lap 51 of 57, and the safety car is ending. Finally, some racing. Nico Hulkenberg. Lando, come here. I want to come here and let us sit on my lap. I tell you how race is. I tell you how it's so fun for you. Get away from me. I'm just trying to be a professional. You can't use DRS, Lando. It's a race to you, cutie face. And here we are. We're racing again, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 51 of 57. Here we go. Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Alex Albon, Kimi Antonelli, and somehow Lance Stroll in 6th. I know, it's not fair. It's not fair. Ooh, George Russell getting all over Max Verstappen. And these guys aren't friendly. Don't bother me. Don't bother me too much. I am Max Verstappen. I'm champion. Really English. You know we do not get along. I do not respect you. I'm Max Verstappen. I'm about to pass my friend Lando. 3 seconds. You know they're chattering about me. Lando, maybe we should get our own radios to talk to each other during the race. Guess what I'm going to tell you? You suck and I'm champion. Yeah. We'll talk about girls, we'll talk about guys, we'll talk about all sorts of things. My hobbies were great like me, and we can talk about my plane because we'll be on it. It'll be great. Lando, I'm almost getting you. I'm right behind you, pretty boy. See how pretty your eyes are when I am accepting the award for winning. Well, I can tell you this in lap 53 and 57, at least they're close. Charles Leclerc trying to overtake Pierre Gasly having none of it. Lando, you don't check your pager. I page you all the time. Why don't you check it? 911. You know what that means? Loser has to buy. Lewis Hamilton making a move. Hey, Lewis, I wish I could see you. Are you still race? I couldn't tell you from all the behind me you were doing. Hey, Lewis, remember that time you were almost 8-time world champion and then there was an accident and then I was champion? That's right. Oh, hey, Lando, knock, knock, ding, ding, bing, bong, ding, dong. Lando, I'm right behind you again. I am not Max Verstappen. I am 6/10 of a second behind you, Lando. Oh, Max Verstappen, knock, knock. I'm 5/10 of a second behind you. I'm almost sitting on your lap, pretty face. You're so funny. I love that you think you're going to win when I'm 6/10 of a second behind you. It is over. I think Lando Norris might have a nervous breakdown. Even the radio, they're saying don't push it, but you know he's going to push it because the Headless Horseman's behind him. Uh-oh, lap 56 to 57. Lando's just got to hold on to it because the devil is riding his pale white horse. Oh, Max Verstappen looking to overtake. Oh, Max, it's the Maxi boy. Don't slip on the stuff. I'm right there. And here it is, lap 57 to 57. It's Lando Norris in front. Max Verstappen with 6/10 of a second behind him. Followed by George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. And now it's Albon and Lance Stroll. It's not fair. How is Lance Stroll in 6th and Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton in 8th and 9th? I don't even think that's mathematically possible. Either way, the real race is up front, and Lando Norris is scared because Max Verstappen wants to pass through. Thus, you can't push the gas down any farther. I am faster car. I am closing up at the other end. Come on, Lando. I'm coming. Lando Norris wins the Australian Grand Prix. That's right, with Max Verstappen in second, the last person to the podium, George Russell. That's right. Lando Norris holds on to first the whole time. That's amazing. Oh, poor Oscar Piastri. I know he wanted to win in front of his home crowd, but you know what? What a dramatic comeback from him, falling all the way off the track and fighting his way from 14th all the way up to 9th. He can be proud of that effort. I know the crowd was. Exciting race. Max Verstappen was tackling poor Lando Norris the whole time. You probably heard him say, Lando, you beat me this time, but I will pick apart your mistakes on the plane on the way home. Ha ha ha. What a champion, ladies and gentlemen. What a race. And they did it. And they did it well, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris pulling up to the first, and Max to pull up and act like he actually is happy for Lando, which is what everyone knows he's not. He's probably got a Lando Norris voodoo doll somewhere, which he'll be sticking it full of all sorts of pins. Well, I gotta tell you, I picked Lando Norris to win. I probably shouldn't have. And I did not pick... No, I did not. I picked Max Verstappen to win. Just kidding. I was totally wrong. But I got George Russell in the top 5. That's not too bad for a get. Yes. We did it. We did it. 13 what? Speak up a little. What? Are you whispering now? I can't hear you. I'm really low, so it's tough for me to hear. What were you saying, Zach? You've stopped the recording? Hello? The recording is stopped. Can you hear me here? Hello? What's that?